Okay, so I've done a little digging. All this nonsense about K rations, I have the answer. So remember, first of all, it's not those, and it's not that one either. And just so we're 100% clear, it's also not that one. Nobody who jumped into D-Day had any of those type of rations. It's all the early mid-war ones. They look like cardboard, and again with block black text. A very simple design. There's nothing fancy about them, and it seems like the entire world has no idea how many they're issued. The reenactors on these videos have been saying it's anywhere between 3 and 12. I mean, just 12. Is it 12? I mean, look, I have loads of this shit that's no good for anything next to me. How big? I mean, how? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 of them is, oh my god, you can't even get it in the frame. Is that, I mean, it's literally my body. Where the hell do you think you're going to put, go away, where do you think you're going to put those? Because they're not going to fit in your musette bag, they're not going to fit in your pockets. It's just absurd. So I went on a mission today, and I went through some books, and I found the answer. I found a document that you can see we're zoomed in on. Clothing and equipment, and this is obviously a 502 document because it lists shell dressings, British shell dressings, and 502 were the only one to take these. So for my group, fantastic, because we do 502, so this is gold for us. But we'll go through it. We'll go through the entire list. We'll go through everything a paratrooper jumped into Normandy with. So all these YouTube videos which says complete list, full gear, all that bollocks. Right, ignore every single video you've seen on YouTube because none of them have most of this stuff on. This is, I mean, clothing is actually blurred, so it's thing and equipment. It's clothing. Okay, so let's one suit. Obviously, you're M4. Oh no, it's always underwear. One suit underwear cotton. One suit underwear wool. Pair of boots. We all know what boots are. So this is just thermals. Thermal trousers. You know, I mean, how can you mistake what that is? Wool shirt, wool olive drab. One pair of wool trousers. You know, the wool trousers the infantry wear. They wear those under the M42s. M42 jacket, M42 trousers, one pair of socks, 2 tags identity with necklace, your dog tags, one belt pistol, M1936 pistol belt, with M96 suspenders, webbing, one suspenders for your trousers so they don't fall down, and a key one here, one canteen, cup and cover, and then spoon. No fork, no mess tin, no knife. You don't need the knife, the fork, and the knife. No, the knife. Oh my god. You don't need any of it. Just leave it all behind. You don't need the mess tin, the fork, and the knife. That goes in your sea bag, which does not come with you. 2 pouches ammo. These will be rigger pouches. Now, it says 2 pouches ammo, but you can clearly see in the picture some guys definitely took a lot more than just 2. 1 each first aid pouch and packet. That is your Carlisle pouch and your Carlisle tin. 2 each shell dressings, British. They're the British ones I was mentioning about. The 502 had 2. Mostly just stuffed into pockets or musette bag. 1 each first aid pouch parachutist. The tie on one all the idiots put on their helmets. Does not go on your helmet. 1 each bayonet for all men armed with an M1. Now that is 90% of men. You get an M1. You don't get a Thompson. You don't get anything else. You don't get a 1903. You don't get a shotgun. You get an M1. Garand. Let's specify Garand. You're not getting helmets. You're not getting tanks. Whatever else is an M1. Everything's an M1. 1-inch trench knife. That is an M3. That is not the World War I style. Okay, gets a bit more exciting in a minute. 1 each mask, gas, and in the bag. 2 each shell eye masks. Now, that is a packet of eye shields, M1. They are those, you get they're in tinted style and they're in clear style. It doesn't specify what. I think you get whatever you were given. You see these packets in a lot of the sort of M5 gas mask websites where they talk about those. You'll see a lot of these packets. On the other side it says about air spray. Is this a dated one? No. They can be confused with the British ones. The British ones are sort of similar looking, but the packets are very different. If it says eye shield M1, it's American. So you have 2 each shields. In one document for the 502, it specifies one set is to be worn over, I think it's over the shirt but under the jacket. So they are here. They are ready to go. 1 each detector gas sleeve in mask. Gas brassard. That's its long-winded title. 1 is worn on your sleeve and 1 actually goes in your gas mask bag, but we'll see that shortly. 2 each capes protective. Capes protective are these packets. Cover protective individual. The only way you can describe it is it's a giant bin liner with a small window in the top. You can pull it over yourself. It protects you from gas that's being blown around, and then you discard it. But these were really used as ground sheets, sort of bodged coverings. Just because they weren't really used for anything else, because gas wasn't an issue. Where are we? You get 2 of those. 1 ointment protective tube. This is the M4 ointment, which, hold on, I've got a picture somewhere. There. So it's in, let's zoom in. It's that there. The M5 one comes, oh, here we go. They come in little boxes, but you only want 1 tube. So one tube would be stored in here, along with fog proofing, which isn't on this list, spare gas brassard, and there's the air spray packet I was talking about, and there's the cover individual. So these sorts of things, some of them do fit in this. You can get a lot in this bag when you ram them in. Let's get rid of that. Let's bring that back. That's my bizarre wallpaper I mentioned yesterday. 1 ointment protective tube. Yep. Field bag. Field bag is your musette bag. So, in the field bag. Now this is why you cannot get 12 of these in your bag. You have, and this will all fit, take some doing, it will go in. 1 raincoat. Not a poncho or anything else weird, the raincoat. 1 underwear, cotton, suit, long johns for normal people. 2 pairs of socks. 2 each units heat. The little cans with the grid cook around the outside, that's what that means in military language. Units heat. 1 powder insecticide. We know the ones, we call them louse powder, the little rectangular cans. That's what that is. Some people decide to put them in their wash kit for some reason, like they're going to wash in the stuff. 1 Halazone bottle of 100 tablets. They do come in 100 tablets. You do see the empty bottles for sale quite a lot on eBay. You also see them in, I think it's 24 tablets in a bottle as well. And in one of the other documents, it lists them as 2 bottles of 26 or 24 tablets. So you could either get 1 big bottle or 2 small bottles, whatever you come across, really. For all the detail which goes into this, you then get 1 set toilet, and it does not mean you are taking with you an Armitage Shanks toilet with you and basin. That's your wash kit again, I don't know why they have to abbreviate it, so it will cause confusion with people. Set toilet. Again, doesn't specify whether that contains a toothbrush, a razor, shaving soap, shaving cream. That is the only thing that you can say really is down to the individual. You need something to keep yourself clean with. One towel face is also listed on other documents as one Huck towel. Even Soldier of Fortune sell Huck towels, you know, they're easy to find. 1 each Hawkins mine per EM, enlisted man. So every enlisted man gets a Hawkins mine. So when you see the officers wearing them, you can scratch your head and wonder if that's correct. Now the key one. 1 each ration K. That's how many you jump with. Now you're all probably going, what the fuck? I can't last 3 days on one ration. Well, you're not wrong. You've seen everything else you've got to carry. In fact, we haven't even finished the list. In your bag or a trouser pocket, you'll fit one of these really easily. You cannot fit 3 for a day. You cannot fit 6 for 2 days. And you certainly cannot fit 9 for 3 days. This will all make perfect sense when I tell you all something you probably don't know. Some of you will. Some of you are bright sparks and you've done some research in this and you know this sort of stuff. Underneath the wings of the C-47 there are racks. These racks drop things on parachutes. Most of them have 4 racks. I think you can see 6 racks on some of the equipment listing. And in these racks you will see things like ammunition, you will see mortars, you will see hand carts, you will see signal equipment, radios, mortars, you name it, it will be dropped on some of those planes. Included in this, would you believe it, boxes of K rations. So you don't need to carry 12 K ration cartons, because boxes are coming as well. They're also being the gliders. So it's not that the rations aren't coming, it's that you do not have to carry them on your person. I know, amazing, right? So you need 1 if you are doing immediate drop D-Day impression. If you're doing something post that, you could have anywhere between none and, if you really want 3, I guess you could probably just about justify having 3. I don't think anybody needs more than 1 or 2 on their person, because the supply chain kicks in quite quickly into Normandy. Stuff does come in, and there's crates of this stuff scattered all around Normandy in gliders and laying in fields under parachutes. They just need to find it and gather it all up. So you don't need to be carrying vast amounts of this stuff. I hope that clears up the ration thing. 1 each. And that's not 1 each of breakfast, supper and dinner. That is 1. Just 1. I know, amazing, right? I found this and I thought, wow, I have struck gold here. 1 detected gas sleeve. So you got 1 on your shoulder, you have 1 in your bag, or in your gas mask bag, wherever you want to put it. 2 each V packets. Now I went, V packets? What the hell is a V packet? Thinking all kinds of crazy shit. And they're pro kits. They're anti-VD kits. You know, the little packets that Google it if you want a detailed instruction kit. Don't get a VD. 2 of those, and then the prophylactics. You would have thought the prophylactics would come first, but then again, I guess you wouldn't need the V packets if you use the prophylactics. You'll see as a picture of I think it's an M1A1 carbine in a foxhole, and guess what it has on the top? Yep, it has a condom slid over the top of it to keep all the dirt and the rain and the crap out of it. Wasn't done that often, but you do see the odd picture showing that. And of course, last but not all, I can't remember the phrase. Last but something. 1 each individual weapon. Of course, because what good are you without a weapon? And that will be, for 90% of you, an M1 Garand. If you're doing it correctly. If you want to do you playing soldiers, playing dress up with your friends, and not taking any of this seriously, then you carry whatever you want to carry. I don't care. But the information's here. Whether you choose to use it or not is down to you. And look what it lists next. How much ammunition we should be carrying. So, like those other videos where we were told they carried all the ammunition they could, everything possible, all the pockets and pouches were full up with ammunition. Bollocks. You would become an ineffective soldier if you weighed yourself down carrying tons of crap. So, what do the average paratrooper carry? 3 each hand grenades, fragmentation. Okay. I mean, you can't mistake that. 3. So that doesn't mean you have to have 3 on you at all times, depending on your impression. If you've just hit the ground, you will have 3 somewhere on you, whether they are in pockets, clipped to your belt, clipped to your D-ring, in your bag. But you're just supposed to have 3. Whether you can see them or not, that's different. Okay. So, individuals carrying a carbine. 105 rounds of ammo. So a magazine has, what's that, 15 rounds. So in a rigger pouch, I should have brought my weapon down, but I didn't even think. In the normal, why am I showing it to the microphone? There you go, microphone. You have the normal rigger pouch. You will fit in there 5 mags, but that's insane. Then you'd have, if you use both pouches, you've got 10 magazines. I don't think you'd be able to scrounge up 10 magazines. What you can get in there is 2 magazines that go around the outside of the carton of ammunition. And I can't remember what the carton of ammunition holds, but it's a damn sight more than what the capacity would be if you packed the magazines in here. And 2 sets of that, 4 magazines, 2 boxes of ammo, is a lot of ammunition. And it's probably very close to that, without going to find whatever the boxes say. Why did I do that? We jumped ahead. So those with M1 Garands, you carry 96 rounds of ammo for yourself. I will specify this is for the person carrying it. 96 divided by 8, I'm not working it out, it's 12. So that's 12 M-block clips. In one of these, you get 4. So you can see why people took extra ones of these, either to put the other 4 clips, M-blocks, clips, that's awful, or 2 grenades fit in these, or you've got GP bags, you've got pockets, you've got musette bags. There are places where you can stash this extra stuff. It's still a lot of ammo to carry. And remember, this is for you. As well as the rations being dropped by the C-47s, you have 30 round ammo cans, you have 50 round ammo, 50 cal ammo cans. You have everything is packed in those planes. Everything you are going to need to supply you. This is for you. It does list the 03 rifle, even though they didn't carry it. 21 rounds per 45 pistol. Now we're talking up the chain. We are talking important officers. Hence you can see 21 is 3 mags. Who goes into combat with 3 mags? I mean, this is high up officers. It's a showpiece really. Submachine gun, Thompson submachine with withdrawn or M3. So it's the M3. So 200 rounds. So what's that? That's, how many mags is that? Oh, my brain's turned off. What's that, about 7 mags? 6 mags? Something like that. I'm not working it out. My head hurts. So they'd probably be stashed in something like a GP bag. Or you'd have a few magazines and a box of ammo. I don't know. I've never looked into the M3s. Because the only people that had them, like in a company infantry parachutist unit, company headquarters, and they're not issued to anybody. So finding out how many magazines they had, who knows? We just know they had 6 M3s. LMG jumped on the gun crew. So the 502, the jump crews, carried their own ammo. This is obviously not 2,000 per person. This is per team. So you have the ammo bearer, you have the assistant gunner, you have the gunner. 250 rounds in a box. I mean, if each guy carries 3 boxes, that's way above 2,000. So it sounds an insane amount, but that's really doable in the team. Some of the other units, I think 506 was one, the loads were spread over lots of different guys in a rifle squad. So some guys will be carrying belts of ammunition, some guys will be carrying rifle grenades, some guys will be carrying mortars. I have no idea what the 501 did. There's so little information, there's so few photographs of them, it's hard to get an overall picture. 503 grenades for men armed with the 03, so they're talking about the rifle grenades. RL rockets. RL rockets being... So they use strange terms and it always confuses me. I assume that they're talking about bazooka rounds, aren't they? What the hell does RL stand for? I mean, it looks like right and left, but I'm sure it's not right and left. Really long. Really loud. It's going to be something really simple, isn't it? That my brain's just refusing to register. So the gunner carries the bazooka, and the assistant gunner carries 6 rockets. So that's three bags. Yeah, that makes sense. Members of the mortar squad, each member carries 26 rounds, and again the 502 squads carried all their own ammo. 81mm mortars, that's much further up the chain. So again they carry. Well, that's there's more. Oh wait, that seems crazy. Oh no, 25. Okay, 26 rounds for a 60mm, 25 for an 81mm. That's heavy though. I pity the guys in the mortar units then. What does it say? All heavy equipment jumped in leg bags, and obviously they had no training on leg bags, and they failed to use them properly. You see Band of Brothers doing an appalling job of basically saying that they were rubbish, and they all broke. Well, they didn't break. They weren't trained in how to use them. They were given these the last minute, so they stuffed all the heavy stuff in them, following these sort of instructions. And they either kicked them out the door of the plane first, and then it went snap, and off it went into the darkness, never to be seen again, or they jumped with them and dropped them. So of course it just dropped with all that weight, it just snapped. And the idea with the British leg bags is it's quite simple. You jump, cuddled, holding it, then you lower it down with the rope till it's at its maximum distance. That then hits the ground first, so you're not landing with all that weight. It's so simple, but nobody said what to do with them, so these bags just disappeared into the darkness. So the radio goes in the leg bag, mortars, LMGs. Results are questionable. Yes, they were. And then in the bedroll carried in the seaborne elements comes your blankets, another shirt, more trousers, 1 pair of service shoes, and your mess kit and knife and fork. Your shelter half, your shelter poles, your pins, and your rope. But this is later. This is nothing to do with now. So that one document gives us a real insight into, if you're jumping on D-Day, this is what you should have. You argue with that form. I mean, that tells you what you need. I mean, that's like finding gold. Was finding that and going through that today really carefully. Yeah, it's magic. There are other bits and pieces that come up on other forms which are not in this, but there's not much. I wonder actually if I can. Will it let me flick to? Oh, I didn't think it was going to do that. Oh, we need to turn it round. Turn around. Hey, you. Turn around. There we go. Who's it? Rotate. Rotate. No, I don't get an option. Oh, okay. Let me zoom in. Don't you love technology? Why can't... It's stuck in full... Oh, if I do that. And now it will zoom in and out. Stupid, huh? The clothing will be worn by all personnel. Yep, we know. Belt, web, waist. So that's your trouser belt. Boxers, and again the other one, I don't think it mentioned helmets. So helmets deal with liner. 2 handkerchiefs. The other one didn't mention handkerchiefs, but that does come up in a couple actually. 1 field jacket. Wait, is this? Oh no, it has some asterisks next to things that are different to the other ones, so we can ignore leggings, canvas, protective, because boots, parachutists, who perceives that. Socks, shoes, service, no. Shirt, wool, OD, yes. Trousers, OD, yes. The coat, parachute is impregnated, yes. CC2. Helmet, parachutists, trousers also impregnated. An undershirt. So no, you notice there's no white t-shirts in any of this. And can you guess why? Yeah, me too. They weren't fucking worn. Suits impregnated HBT. What's the 3 asterisks? Worn initially as outer layer until authorised to remove impregnated clothing. But that must be for somebody else, because that doesn't make sense with paratroopers. We've already got impregnated stuff. Worn by parachutes. Oh, worn by parachutes in lieu of the suit impregnated HBT is an outer layer. Okay, yeah, so we wear T, coat, parachute is impregnated. Each individual will carry in his haversack or bag field the following items of clothing and equipment: 2 handkerchiefs, raincoat, toiletry articles, insecticide, yep. Just called out in a different name. In the other one, it was bug flea powder or something along those lines. See, this is heat units 4. The other said 2. Carry 2 and claim you've used 2. Halzone tablets, there we go. 2 bottles of 12 each, so not 1 bottle of 100. So there's a massive variation there. Socks, light wool, 3 pairs. Socks, protective, 1 pair. And the other sheet said 2 pairs. But I think this is covering, infantry as well. So you could say the infantry have more room, hence why they get twice as many pairs of socks. Guessing. 1 towel huck, yes. Can meet the asterisks. It says about all troops going by air, does not blah 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 blah. It goes in the it goes in the bedroll and will come later. Knife, fork, meat can, all asterisks. Spoon, yes, you take the spoon with you. And this is on seaborne vehicles, so not important. So there's only a couple of bits on here, like handkerchiefs that are mentioned, and a couple of bits which are different. The heat units, there's 4 of, in the other there's 2. Different variations, different quantities of Halzone tablets, which are basically water purifying tablets, if I didn't say that earlier. I know them as a different name, but I can't remember what that is. What's this one? Oh. Uniform to be worn Operation Neptune. Obviously Neptune is the getting ready sort of stage of Overlord, or it's something close to that. Underwear, again the type is optional, but it has to be worn. Shirt, wool, worn. Trousers, worn. There's no option, you have to wear these. Coat, parachute impregnated, worn. That's CC2 obviously. Trousers, parachutist, impregnated, worn. Raincoat, carried. Raincoats, you do carry them. And an interesting one, field jacket, optional. So that's probably M41, or no, I thought for a second it might be HBTs, but no, because they always seem to be wearing the coveralls. So that must be a 41 jacket. And boots, parachutist, worn. Obviously, you're not going to get far without boots on your feet. Top secret. Is there another one? Or was it going to bring up something random? No, it's going to bring up some of them pictures I showed you the other day. And that's too blurry to read, because I did a really good job there. So, I mean, obviously you can pause that on those lists and absorb that sort of information as you need to. Hopefully it'll clear up a lot of this nonsense around I have everything, I have a complete impression. Bollocks, do you? There's no fucking way. There's stuff that I'm still waiting to get hold of. I've got things like the original box of prophylactics on its way. Halzone tablets I'm still waiting to arrive. It's just the little finicky little things to find. Talking of the prophylactics, I noticed on the Robin Frenchman's website, the paratroopers.fr, I mean, what the actual fuck? I bought exactly this today, identical, unopened, Same. It is exactly this. He sells it for €135. I paid 20 for exactly the same thing. This guy's his prices are just outrageous, and unfortunately, he just capitalised on where his shop is and tourists, just robbing them blind for all he can get, which is not really on in my eyes, but you know what this hobby's like. It's full of people who take advantage of anybody if they can. Right, I think that's half an hour, so that's enough for this one. There's enough in there for you guys to spend a while going over. I'm sure you'll disagree with everything on there because there's stuff there you don't want to own, don't want to buy, don't want to justify not having. So you can claim that I wrote this myself, or I'm making all this up, or whatever you want. I don't care. This is the information you should work from. Forget what all these other guys are telling you. Oh, there's so many videos on here giving advice that's utter bollocks. Absolute nonsense. And then people are lapping it up. Oh, I love your impression. It's amazing. I'm going to do this. Please don't do that. Just do some research. That is the key thing in this. Buy books. And I don't mean the sort of Fisher Price books, which are an overall of the war. Just crap, but you can buy that basically the same book a million times over with a different colour, which has no real information in it, just full of the generic pictures you will see everywhere. In fact, you can just Google those pictures. Buy some books by Michel Detrez, Michael Detrez, whatever he's called. See, I didn't call him Mark today, so I'm doing well. The two Carentan books. If you're doing Normandy, buy those two books. D-Day Publishing, you can get them through. Those, if you want to do this properly, buy those two books. There will be 100 and more photographs that you've never seen, and it's a constant source of information. They live just behind my monitor, just there, so they are, shut up phone, always within reach. I must pick those up 10, 20 times a day to find something. They are that good. Right, anyway, that's enough from me. I'm signing off. Excellent. Cheers, guys. See you later.